liberator, but you can't murder liberation. You can murder revolutionary, but you can't murder revolution. And you can murder a freedom fighter, but you can't murder freedom.
You're tapped in, so let's get right to it. Okay, so this boycott that the Black communities all over the country are participating in is going splendidly. And we suggest here at TAP that there's more that should and could and needs to be done to make this thing a larger, not just an event, but statement, not to those who it's directed at, but to the people. There should be a purpose behind this, correct? All right. Let that purpose be then we're taking our dollars that we would normally go spend with other demographics to our people who have the same businesses. We want to enrich our people because what we do know is that when we keep money in our community, it stays in our community. And if that's not the case, then guess what? That should be the case. Our dollars should circulate in our community for at least 10 days before we send it wherever we send it, to banks, other investments or whatever. You know, our money should circulate in our communities for at least 10 days before we go on and do other things with it, hopefully, you know, to increase the amount, right? This is what most demographics do. This is how they enrich the communities. This is how the money is shared in a way. All right. So that being said, yeah, leave no stone unturned. All businesses that, and let me say, not just Asians, but anyone who would degrade, disrespect, murder us, our people, need to have the same experience at their business. They need to be boycotted. Corporations, it doesn't matter. See, this is the thing. We want to look at this as this small event that's directed at a certain demographic. But the reality is what we're doing should be all encompassing when it comes to businesses that do not serve the community, not just serve it, but respect it, participate in it, bring back dollars that we spend with it back to it. Things of that nature. Only time we're going to see this type of thing take place is when we get control of our own economic base, our own businesses, and we put back the money into our communities. We can't depend on politicians to build up our communities. They won't. The only thing most politicians in most of our communities that are majority Black, the only thing that they'll do or they like seeing done in our communities is that a certain crime rate stays at a certain place or a certain percentage because there's money they can get from that, right? There's money to be had from that, you know? We suffer as a result of all of that. So don't depend on politicians, you know, really, we should not. We should take it upon ourselves to get involved in this process. But again, this process should have a purpose that's going to serve the people in the community, Black people. All right. We do away with these businesses. We stop spending our dollars with these businesses. And as a result of that, those businesses are eradicated and they're removed. They're gone. We fill that void with our businesses. Real simple process. And for those of us who can't afford a brick and mortar, you know, a storefront, anything of that nature, hey, as long as you have an LLC, a business license, you could prop up a tent, you know, with a couple of chairs and your product. Let's get it. Let's get it by any means. Let's get it. Now, again, I don't think that this boycott should stop at the Asian community. It should also be directed at the Hispanic community, the Mexican community, the Jewish community, and the white community. Wherever they have these businesses, you know, where no respect is afforded any of us who go and spend our dollars, you know, where our youth, our children can be murdered because, you know, some proprietor thinks they're stealing or accuse them of stealing. They lock them in, they kidnap them, all kind of stuff goes on. Time you lock a door, you prevent a person from leaving or moving because you suspect something is kidnapped. You're being held against your will. All kinds of violations, human rights violations take place, not just with the Asian community, man. It's with all of them. Where do you think the Asians got their ideas from? The people who came before them, you know? They overcharge us. So much goes on. Sell us products that have expired and no good. All kinds of things goes on with these people who come into our communities to sell us goods. One thing is for sure, they come to the right place because as a collective, in terms of economics, in terms of money spent annually on products, on things, we're number one. We're number one. We're talking about at least, they give a statistic or an amount at 1.8 trillion. Hey, you guys, it's more than that. It's more than that. And we need to understand how much $2 trillion that we have in our community annually that we spend. So we have it, what that can do for each and every state in this union where Black people reside. Black communities do not have to be impoverished. We do not have to live in the situation we know we're living in, all right? We can improve our lot. We can improve our station in life if we choose to. We don't have to move to those areas where whites really don't want us, or Jewish people really don't want us, or Asians really don't want us. We can live a great life, a good life in our communities. We have to build that though. And these boycotts is the first step. We're taking our money and we're going to spend our money amongst our people. There can be no better civil act. Nothing better could be done. When we're spending our money with each other, come on, man, that's a win-win. That's a win-win. Not only are we helping Black proprietors, business owners, but we should also find some satisfaction and pride in the fact that this is what we're doing with our people. It's a win-win. If we think back to all those times back in the day when all those Black communities existed, that's how they got to where they were. They unified, they dealt with one another. They made sure they spent their money only with each other. This is how this is done. And this is like something we can do, man, no problem. Most of us are entrepreneurs. Most of us know how to sell things, so that shouldn't be a hard task. The fact of the matter is, though, okay, if we're going to boycott, let's boycott. Let's quit playing. Let's not give anyone the impression, it'll boil over. They'll get over it, This is not something we should do. We don't want no one. In fact, we don't even have to think about what the impression is with them. We just have to know what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, and we need to do that. Forget all the white noise. Forget all the chatter about, Blacks doing this, you're anti. No, it don't matter. It don't matter. We've been in this situation long enough. It's time to end it. Some people want to say, well, he was Rick Child. He was Chinese. Okay, that's Rick Child, but there are others. There are others, Koreans, Vietnamese, Indians. All of them have treated us disrespectfully, have talked shit to us, have put their hands on our people, have harmed and killed our people. It's all of them. It's just not Rick Child, And this is what we're starting to hear now from our own camp. We got the Anton Daniels and, others who say, oh, no, it's not right to do all. Yeah, it is, because all of them done it. What they fail to realize is that in these communities, Black hate, anti-Blackness exists in the homes. So from the homes to the place of business, it comes with them. They don't leave it at home. We're not just talking about Rick Child, a Chinese guy. We're talking about Japanese. We're talking about Koreans. We're talking, hey, you get the picture. It's all of them. It's all of them. It makes no sense for anyone to say, just, the China. No, man, it's all of them. They all do it. And for those of you who say no, then man, you're blind. You're blind and you're deaf. The majority of us know all of them do it. Given a chance, all of them will try at some point or attempt to take the life of a Black person. Too many have done it, and they weren't all Chinese. We have now the Indians who, hey man, talk bad to our children, man, treat them any old kind of way, try to disgrace them, disrespect them, put their hands on them. It's all of them. The boycott should serve everybody that we know is against us, man. Quit playing with this stuff. There's nothing to be played with. This is a serious matter. And a lot of us don't get it because a lot of us are still catering to the structure, the system. A lot of them want to be still accepted and approved by them. So they'll speak against us to show, hey, I'm doing my job, master. They're doing their job. You know, some of these people are influencers, have a following. 300,000 sold, maybe 1 million. No, y'all, we're not going to be involved in that. No, that ain't right. That ain't right. Yeah, okay. It's right for the Rick Childs of this country and others, you know, Su Jun Nu and others to do what they do to us. That's okay. That's okay. Where were these individuals when all this stuff was going on? What did they have to say about the life of Cyrus? His life being taken by the Rick Childs of this country. And again, Cyrus is just one of many that made the news. All right. No, man, we need to be in this thing, man, 10 toes down. 10 toes down. This is long overdue. This is long overdue. There is no respect, not just for, you know, they get the black dollar, but they don't respect it because they don't respect Blacks. So we say here at TAP, hey, man, all of them, boycott all of them. See, we've been led to believe that we have nothing. And to some extent, that's true. To some extent, that's true. But the part that we don't know about is that we have brothers and sisters who grow food, who can help us to produce our own water, who have ideas about electricity, power, you know, things of that nature, you know? There's nothing we can't do, especially when we do it together. We're led to believe that we have the people who have said it. Those people who are coming into, you know, on these social media sites talking big smack, they aren't all Chinese. No, they're Asians. And that is a compilation of, you know, people from, you know, that part of the world, Asia. They're Indians again. They're the Koreans, Vietnamese, they're Chinese, they're Japanese. They're letting us know how they really feel, how they really think about us. And it's not about us putting our foot on their necks. No, it's about us, okay, hey, well, let's do what we have to do. That's all that matters. Yeah, the boycott need to be just that, a boycott of all of it. Of all of it. Not just the little corner stores, the liquor stores, the AMPMs, the 7-Elevens, you know, the Chinese, you know, or Asian gas station, you know, no, man, all of it. Products even in major chain stores, you know, big box stores, their products. No, man, all of it. We need to decide that we're going to spend our money as a unit, you know, as a unit on those products we need from our people and no one else. This is the decision we have to make. Again, there are some gambling that this won't last long in our own camp as well. But a lot of us, we don't just feel this. We know the spark has been lit. We want to fan the flames. We need this man to be bigger than a brush fire. We need this to be a firestorm. We need to change the paradigm in our communities. We need to also alter how people see us, especially when it comes to our money. So if it's through our money, we get them to understand one thing is that respect is a part of that, that transaction, then we've done what we're supposed to do. But we want to do this going beyond just sending a message. We want to do this to build our own up as a result of all this. That should be the objective. That should be the purpose. Not, a week from now, sisters look at I need me a new lace front with none on me going out. No, man. No, sister. Bro, because you got the munchies, you want to go into that Asian that just pop up. Oh, man, that shit is greasy good and da-da-da-da-da. No, bro. No. Go home, treat your woman right, ask her to help you make a meal, cook a meal with her. But do not spend your dollars with these people, man, because they all think the same. And even for those who say, hey, I'm not with none of that, blah, 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 you're complicit. Because it exists in your communities, in your homes. You don't stand up for us when we're not around. Now that this shit is going down, you want like you standing up for us. No, man, this shit exists, you guys. It exists, man, in their homes, in their communities. This is why we see it in our communities, in the shops that they own, that cater to us. They don't care, man, about any of us. Only thing that matters to them is the dollar. And in a lot of respects, they don't care to talk to you with respect because in their minds, you're still going to spend the money. They can call you a dog, treat you like a dog. And in their minds, you'll still spend your money with them. This isn't just about Rick Child. This is about that demographic and how it perceives us. It is racist to us. And again, it ain't just the Asians. We have an opportunity to change the paradigm. And most of us are on board, and we need to be. I have no issue with how we go about doing this. Let's just get it done. That's the thing. Now, what I do know is that the boycott is having, in the broader sense, a localized economic impact on specific businesses. Okay, this is what we do know. All right. Those beauty salon stores, those beauty supply stores, the nail shops where you get the manicure and the pedicures, the eyelashes and eyebrows, all those are feeling the effects, but it needs to be broader, bigger than that. It needs to not just be localized in our communities, So whenever some of us want to get in the car and we ride out somewhere, we go in California, Venice Beach, Malibu, wherever there's hey man, the same should apply. Don't give them your dollars. They need to feel the effects of this all over the state, in each state, not just where we are. When we leave our immediate communities, hey man, stick to the script. Stick to the script. It should affect all their businesses, no matter where we are or where we go. Stick to the script, But yeah, so beauty supply shops, restaurants that are in urban areas, or like I said, man, most of these places that are being impacted are localized, in urban areas, you know what I'm saying? Predominantly Black neighborhoods. We have to make sure that when us Blacks leave our neighborhoods, wherever we go, we're still going to keep our pockets and wallets closed to these businesses. That's what we should do, So we want this to be not just localized, a localized movement. We want this to touch and affect every area within that city, that state in this country. That's what we're supposed to be on, Now, again, it's taking effect. It's working. Let's hope that, or let's continue to work towards it being in a week or more, crippling You know, the more we stay at this, the more crippling it will become for those businesses that, you know, we are boycotting, that need to understand that, okay, we're not playing anymore. We want to cripple those businesses. And in fact, we want to put them out of commission. And let's be honest. There's no other reason to be doing this if it's not for that purpose. And again, that purpose serves a purpose. Now, we fill them voids when we put them out of commission, our sisters and brothers, hey, man, go set up shop. We build our own economic base. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong about that, you know? But again, we want this to be just broadly crippling, where they, not just in our, wherever we go, they do not get our dollars, all right? You know, and again, you know, it is about redistributing our capital, putting our money back into Black-owned businesses, into our communities, our areas, you know, where we reside, you know, where most of us work, you know, that's what's up. Now, and again, because of this, you know, the boycott discussions, let's say, man, they recently gained a lot of attention nationally, you know what I mean? But not only that, but the boycott has grabbed or garnered a lot of traction as well, following that the damn acquittal of this that Rick Child guy, you know. That again, that's some sad stuff, man. And if that's not enough to make us want to get it together, I don't know what else could. But the death of another one of our brothers or sisters by the hands of one of these people, you know, who have no respect for a life. Come on, man, we got to get on this. We want to continue to target all these businesses, you know. That would be the objective, or should be the, you know, the objective. Again, we understand that anti-Blackness exists in those communities and in their homes. And if we don't, for those of you who don't think so, you need to really, really pay a little closer attention, pay a little more attention to the fact that it does. Anti-Blackness exists inside their homes. And if it's in their homes, it's in their communities. All right. That's a disease that is festering in their communities. They leave their communities and bring that disease over into our areas. We got to do something about that. Now, what I do want to say is some Asian commerce responses to what we've been doing. You know, conversely, some Asian business owners and influencers have pushed back, asserting that their businesses provide vital services, create localized jobs, and that these boycotts often do not threaten broader global supply chains. We can affect that, though. We can affect that. I don't know many Asian businesses in the community that I come from that hire Black people. I really don't. I'm serious. I'm not making that up, man. I do not. I know of a 7-Eleven, and that's in the Valley, where I've seen one Black guy, and he's basically in the freezer department. You know, he keeps the sodas and the beers and all that stocked up. And, you know, I've never seen him behind the register. I've never seen him in the aisles, you know, you know. So, you know, in terms of vital services, understand what that means, vital services. There's nothing vital about what they do or the services that they offer. They sell things. They sell things, you know, cosmetic goods and food, you know, food that's not even healthy, you know, cosmetic goods that aren't even healthy for your skin, for your scalp or whatever. You know, they're putting all these cancer causing products on your fingernails, your toenails, man, your scalp. Nah, they're vital services. I don't know. Help me to understand that, you know, and they do not create jobs. Not for us. Not in the least. So I have a clip, as I always do, And in this clip, we have a sister who is going to share with you guys not just the necessity for this boycott and why it should become more than a boycott, but a real life movement for the people. But also, she's sharing with you dignity, the dignity we should be, displaying, that we should have in ourselves and each other when it comes to this type of thing. A lot of us, man, we're unsure of our abilities or what we are able to, accomplish. We're more fearful of failing than we are, enthusiastic about trying or attempting to do something, And again, this needs to be repeated in terms of this boycott. I want to say, because I've heard it said, and it makes so much sense in the world to me, this boycott, it should be motivated by love for our people. And it should not be motivated because we're angry about the decision that came down regarding Rick Child killing Cyrus, all right? It shouldn't be about anger. Our motivation should be based upon the love we have for our people. We love our people enough, especially our youth, our women, and our men, enough to say, okay, enough is enough. Let's get this right. It's out of love that we're doing this for us. See, anger, it would dissipate, we working on anger. You ain't going to be angry forever, for long, you're saying you be back, patronizing these places. No, let's do it out of love. That way we keep it on the forefront, our brains, while we're doing this. We love our youth. We love our children. We love our women. We love our brothers. Let's do it for that reason, and let's make this boycott sustainable, and we do that by not allowing convenience or feeling like we're inconvenient. There's an inconvenience because I got to go 3 blocks over rather than 1 block near me to get or spend money with my people. Well, the Buddha Heads is right next door, so I'm gonna go right there, man. It's late, nobody gonna see me, No, man. Don't allow the inconvenience of this movement be the reason that we aren't able to sustain it, keep it up and running. All right. That's just, something I want to say, our inconvenience should not beat out our commitment and love to our people based upon this issue we're dealing with. Just something needs to be said. All right. It's something that needs to be said. But again, I have a clip. I want to impart this clip, bring it in, let you guys get a bar of it for contextual purposes. And again, it's very informative and educational. So that's what I like about this clip more than anything else. Before I drop that clip, please like, share, follow, comment, and subscribe to TAP. You are tapped in. The art of political discourse. This is what we do. This is how we're going to do it, man. We want to represent the people. All right. So this is what we're doing. We want to send our thanks and appreciation to each and every one of you who have liked and shared, as well as subscribed to this channel. Thank you very much, and continue to like and share to get others to come and subscribe to this channel as well. Ahead of time, we say thank you again. All right. That being said, let's jump in here. This is a young sister, man, and she's, truth to power. She's spitting truth to power. Check it out.
You want to know why Black boycotts fail? Every month, I drive through this apartment complex to my Black-owned dog groomer, and on every single corner, I see Hispanic entrepreneurs and hustlers selling food, beverages, household supplies, beauty supplies, honey, every single corner, exactly where their community lives. That is convenience, and that is what we are missing. Black people are 14% of the population, but we own just 2% of businesses that can employ at least one person. Now, here's what we do. For those who cannot afford a brick and mortar, honey, we got to take it to the corner. We have boycotted before. Tasha Harlins, George Floyd, honey. We buy black and that gets loud, and then we quiet down for the comfort of convenience. We need to be like the water boys on the corner. Buy your products wholesale, honey, and go ahead and sell retail, babe. Make your money. Talk to your apartment manager. Pay to rent the corner, honey. Get the proper permits, honey, and keep all the profit. A tent and a folding table is all you need, baby. No brick, no mortar. I led a movement called My Black Receipt. We're over 17 days. We had thousands of people spend
consumers spent $5 million at a black-owned business through July 6th. And it didn't take no gang of time for them to do that. That's the type of money that's generated in our communities. Again, you guys, annually, in 12 months, the Black nation here in the United States spends in consumer goods, we consume in goods, $2 trillion. $2 trillion. Let that set in, man. There's no GDP. There's no country that even has that amount in terms of how it's spending for a fiscal year. You know, this is in 1 year. $2 trillion that we have and that we spend with others than ourselves, with people other than ourselves. Come on, man. That should a light should go on in each and every one of you guys' minds, in your head. That light should go on. That's a lot of damn money. That's more money than I get in a trap. You know, that's more money I can get jacking. How you gonna get that 2 trillion? And it's legitimate money because people are spending. This is earned money and they're spending it with others. Come on, man. And
$1 million in Black-owned businesses in response to the protests. The movement was unsustainable because convenience beat out the commitment to buy Black-owned.
The movement was unsustainable because convenience beat out commitment. So what she's saying there is that, okay, there was an inconvenience with a lot of us, and that inconvenience was finding that Black business owner, that Black person, man or woman, who sold that product that they wanted specifically. It was hard to locate them, or they were too far away. Well, right up the street, there was Rick Chow, you know, and others, you know, the AMPM, 7-Elevens, you know. And so, because convenience, and if you guys notice, a lot of these stores are called convenience stores. So convenience beat out commitment. We have to be committed to this boycott. And again, this boycott can't be something that's short-lived. This thing got to go until they are eradicated from our communities. So we got to commit to this. If not, convenience is going to beat us out. We're going to forget quick. And I hope, I like heck, man, do not forget like we've done in the past. Quick to forget. Quick to forget. Let's do away with that.
On a regular and consistent basis. This video is getting too long, but I have to say this. I remember this girl on TikTok, licensed lash tech, couldn't afford brick and mortar, was doing lashes in the front seat of her car. That's how dogged we need to get. Otherwise, this boycott is temporary.
All right. And I don't think any of us wants to look at this situation as temporary, because if that's the case, then there are going to be a lot of more Rick Childs. That means then they won't leave. They are not going anywhere because we aren't determined enough or committed enough to make sure that they're not in our communities, making our money while at the same time killing, and disrespecting and killing us. Let's get on it. Let's get on it. Yeah. So there that is. Let's think about longevity in this endeavor. You know, let's make sure that our actions, the actions we're taking, serves us. There's a purpose behind it. And also keep in mind that our motivation for this should not be anger. Our motivation should be love for our people, especially our youth and our women and our elderly. All right. Those are the ones who are under attack by these people. Let's commit to this. Let's get it done. All right. So until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.
You can murder a liberator, but you can't murder liberation. You can murder a revolutionary, but you can't murder revolution. And you can murder a freedom fighter, but you can't murder freedom.